All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mir Ali. I'm the treasurer on the board of directors for the Bolingbrook Area Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to welcome all of you to the ribbon cutting of Sebert Landscaping Company. I'm joined here today with the principals here and the owners, Jeff Sebert and his wife Grace. Welcome to Bolingbrook.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we also have Andrew Brennecke and Steve Pierce. Welcome. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce a few of our board members and our staff on the Bolingbrook Area Chamber of Commerce, starting with our fearless leader, Michael Carpenzano, our president and CEO. Also, we have Sabrina Jones, our member services and events person. And Cheryl Shoemake, membership director for our chamber. Also joining us today are a few of our board members. I'd like to introduce Kathy Severtson from Adventist Bolingbrook Hospital. And the newest addition to our chamber board as well. We also have Marty Barton from Wordcrafters. Marty? And John O'Driscoll from Tressler LLP. Holding the ribbon today, we have Bree and Dave, right? And we'd like to congratulate you, Sebert Landscaping, for joining the chamber, and once again, welcome to Bolingbrook.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
And at this time, I'd like to turn the mic over to the backbone of our community, the man who has truly made Bolingbrook a place to grow, and Mayor Roger Clare, and I'd like Mayor and myself will present this plaque to you, welcoming you to the chamber.
Well, thank you.
Our Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for joining the chamber. I'd like to quickly introduce some other officials with us today. We have with us our village clerk, Carol Pinning, in the back. Deputy Mayor and Trustee Leroy Brown. Trustee Pat Shanks. This could be her last time being introduced as a trustee at a ribbon cutting. And she's gonna start crying, so zoom in on the tears. Trustee Sanya Swinkunis. Stepping down, she didn't run for re-election. She decided to retire after 20 years as village trustee. Thank you, Sandy. And her replacement on the village board is with us today, although she's not going to be sworn in until next Tuesday night. And that's Maria Zarate right here. And we have with us our village attorney, James Bone, the police chief, Kevin McCarthy, our acting director of public works, Lucas Rickelman, Rosa Calhoun, our finance director, and Trinidad Garza, who is deputy fire chief. And for the township, we have Sheldon Watts. What's right over here? Sheldon? Again, I don't think I missed anybody. All right, this is a bit brief story about this location. This is what was Walsh Landscape. And just going back to I don't think I'd been mayor more than a year or two. And a guy came in with Bill Gauberg, who was the father, so to speak, of the 750-acre Remington Lakes Business Park, which he so appropriately named Remington after Frederick Remington, the sculptor. Anyway, Bill came to me with a guy named Jay Walsh, who at the time had his business on Route 83 in Willowbrook, just north of the I-55-83 intersection. And Jay was kind of a quiet guy, and we talked a bit. He wanted to bring his landscape business here, and he did, and he acquired all this land as well as the land across the street. And he ran the business from the late 80s till this past year or so. And he decided it was time to enjoy life. He'd done well, and so he decided to retire. Is it for me? So Jay decided to retire, and we were concerned as a village because you get a property like this, it's kind of not a one purpose, but is a fairly single purpose type property with a lot of open space and outbuildings for vehicles and so on. We were worried about what would happen. And of course, in this day and age, nobody wants to bulldoze things and start from scratch because it's a big asset. And along came Jeff Sebert who wants to put in a landscaping business. Now, how perfect is that? And I got a chance to sit down with Jeff, and I was just telling him earlier, I read an article that was in the Daily Herald.
Yes.
About Jeff and his business, and you've been in this business 30 years?
Close to it. 28 started, yes.
And you're going to be 50, you are 50?
Yeah, I just turned 50.
You look pretty good at 50.
Well, thank you.
Actually, I'm 45, but anyway.
Sandy can say that.
Yeah. By the way, I wasn't applauding earlier because I have this arm in a sling. 2.5 more weeks, rotator cuff surgery, very painful. I got it planting a tree.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Should have called upon us. We'd have been in there to plant that tree.
Anyway, you've been in the business almost 30 years, and I believe you have 250 seasonal employees, 60 full-time?
That's about correct, and we're at this location here. We're running about 75 employees out of this location here.
And how many other locations do you have?
We have 4 other locations. We're in Naperville, we're in Elk Grove Village, and we're in Bartlett.
Is there a chance you could move 1 or 2 of those over here?
Well, that's quite possible. Naperville may wind up someday being over here with us over here.
Do much better here.
You know what? The community is great here. Sponsors of business and being part of the community is a really good opportunity for Sebert. We've enjoyed it.
Well, not only myself, the village board, but the chamber understands business is what makes the community work. You got to have jobs. You got to have people coming to work. You got to have people that go to the stores, buy the gas, buy the Hallmark card, shop in the Walmart, what have you. So that's why we encourage and support business the best we can. And I'm happy you feel that way.
Well, and you've done an excellent job to make that happen. I don't think without having someone like yourself for 25 years here as mayor.
It's 26 actually.
Without somebody like that being the backbone to make that happen, we wouldn't have this community like it is today.
Well, you know, and speaking of that, and I was reading again the article about yourself, and anybody in business today, I mean, there was probably a generation, 3 or 4 generations ago, where you could run the business the same way for 30 years, retire, and do quite well. Today, you got to be pretty nimble, pretty quick on your feet, right?
Absolutely correct. It's trying to look at every aspect of what you're doing and trying to lean up whatever you're doing as a business so that at the end of the day you're giving the consumer what they're wanting to pay for. They don't want to pay for the person who was in the office putting the invoice together or the guy loading the truck. They want to pay for what the product is coming out to their property and the finished product. So you have to be really clever on trying to figure out ways to minimize your cost back to the customer. We've been doing that through solar, battery-powered equipment, propane equipment, and things just be a little bit more innovative than our competition. Set ourselves apart, being the greener of the green in landscaping.
Well, that was in an article quite a bit about greening. And speaking of greening, I understand this trailer here is somewhat unique.
It is. That's a solar-powered trailer. All the equipment that is kept in that trailer there is regenerated by the sun. It's all battery-powered equipment, so the line trimmers, the blowers, the trimmers, all of that equipment is recharged by the sun. And then on top of that, the equipment that we're using mower-wise is propane. So every mower that we use is propane-powered, not gasoline-powered. Cost difference there is about $2 a gallon, so fairly significant in the cost savings.
Well, it is, and of course it just sits there and generates the power, so you just hope for not too many cloudy skies, right?
It would be a problem, yes. If we had an April like we had and continued for a significant period of time, it would be a problem. But there are ways to get around that, and that's by plugging it into the grid.
Oh, you can still
You can still plug it in.
Who's going to be running this operation here?
Andrew Brennicky, and Andrew is right here to the left of me.
And he's like here all the time?
He is here all the time. He's our branch manager. He better be. I don't know if he's elsewhere, but you're not over here next door at the restaurant, I don't think.
And you're down here often?
I'm here 2 to 3 days a week.
You just kind of drive between the places?
I come through here and I look at the what's going on here at this operation and look at our accounts and check up on the overall quality of the work.
All right, that's what you tell Grace when you leave in the morning. Yeah. Where do you really go?
I'm over here across the street.
So, you've grown a business, and you were actually mowing lawns to make money in school, I understand?
I did. I started when I was about, 13, 14, just mowing a lawn and making a few dollars, getting a tip at the end. And I liked the business. I enjoyed family and friends that supported me. Have been doing this for almost 30 years. And I look back and say it's been a great career and continue on.
As I look around, about a third of these people have no idea what you used to mow lawns back then. Describe it.
21-inch mower.
And what kind was it?
Gas-powered.
Oh, you had gas?
I had gas-powered, yeah.
That article said it was reel to reel.
Real. No, well, I think it truly was gas.
You made that up.
I did. It sounded interesting at the time.
Well, Leroy was around when they invented the reel to reel. I mowed lawns with reel to reel mowers. And I'll tell you, you mowed on a regular basis because you let it get too high. You were screwed. Yeah. I wasn't going to use that term, but that's where I was headed. So anyway, you start out mowing lawns, and you got $20 for a job, and they give you a $5 tip.
$5 tip. Yeah, and it was about an acre's worth of lawn at that time.
That's not bad. So I can see where that would they want to go into business. Would you like to introduce any other key employees?
Well, to my left here is my wife, Grace, who has been consulting to me for the last 25, 30 years.
Stand a little bit away because I'm blocking you in the camera.
Okay. This is my wife, Grace, who's been with me for 25, 30 years here and been a consultant. And done
he doesn't know how many?
Which has it been, Grace?
Well, 26 married, 31 with him.
Okay.
There you go.
And you used to work downtown, and now you live out in Marengo?
Yes.
Where's that?
Near Rockford, on the way.
That's a pretty good drive every day.
It's a long drive. We spend a lot of time on the road. So.
Okay, anybody else you like to introduce?
Well, we got Steve Pierce. He's a general manager. He's the guy who's the backbone of the company here and keeping everybody together and all the branch managers. He's done a wonderful job with me. He's been with me for over 10 years. I want to tell you, the majority of most of my employees have been with me for over 10 years.
Just stand over this way again.
Okay.
I'm blocking you. I don't want to do that.
Okay. So 10 years, most of all my employees plus have been with me. So the backbone of this business is contributed to the wonderful people that I have working for me and have put their heart and soul into this business. Steve is a prime example, as well as Andrew and many, many other people within this organization.
Well, that speaks well to have long-time employees like that. Anybody else?
Well, anybody else here? Who else? Well, Bree is right next. She's new. She started with us just about over a year ago now, and she has done a wonderful job. She's very active here in the chamber. She's done a wonderful job trying to get business and working with the chamber. She's part of this whole success of what has happened today, and thank you, Bree, for doing that. Dave Cook is over here to your right, and he's also a new employee. He's only been with us for a few months. He is also here to help sponsor business and try to grow this location so that we can fill this parking lot.
And what kind of hours? I mean, this is not necessarily like a retail store, but what kind of hours you keep here?
Well, we start here at 6:30 in the morning, and usually by 6 in the evening, we're finished for the day. If it's snow, anything goes with the snow. So
if somebody came in and decided they wanted to have you landscape their home or business, they could just drop in here?
They certainly could.
That's, of course, if Dave hasn't been there.
Well, that's true. But at the end of the day, if they decide to stop in here or go to our website and Sebert.com and look us up, they can also get us through that venue as well, or just give a phone call here. And the phone number here, Andrew, is what? 815-372? 9130.
Well, good. Anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you.
Is there anything you don't do in landscaping?
We pretty much do everything. Any aspect of whether it be pavers or retaining walls or maintaining your grounds, planting, design work, any aspect of the landscaping we're involved with.
Great.
I want to thank you.
Oh.
I'm just going to give you.
Okay. Well, again, thank you for coming to Bolingbrook, and thank you for joining the chamber and being part of our business community. We have some scissors. Would you mind open those?
I will.
Here. All right. Oh, come on, Grace. You get in there.
Come on, Grace.
You've been with him 25 or 30 years, whatever. All right. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
There you go.